Welcome, welcome. It is Wednesday, my dudes. So that means I go on here live and talk about a libertarian issue. So let's go ahead and wait a little bit, see if more folks will join in. Alrighty. Yes, it is Wednesday, my dudes. So while we're waiting here, be sure to like my page, comment if you're here, and share the video. Let people know about this. I am also on Twitter, Instagram. I'm even on MeWe, and I just joined on the Clubhouse, so go ahead and add me there. And actually, after looking at Clubhouse these past couple of days, I'm looking at also doing a show on there. And for those that don't know, Clubhouse is how do I describe it? It's like a virtual conference room area. And so you will be able to go on there live with me and talk. It's not a video interface, so it's just calling, but you'll be able to ask me questions, talk with me, and we can pick out a subject for the night and talk about that for maybe an hour. So that is to come in the future. Go ahead and add me on Clubhouse. If you're not on Clubhouse, you have to download it and wait for an invite. If you have someone that you know that is on there that has invites, go ahead and let them know that you want to join. And like I said, like, comment, and share this video. And let's go ahead and start getting into it. So I want to talk about seafood. I'm sure a lot of you people have seen the great seafood debate between me and Cajun. That was mainly out of fun. Me and Cajun are actually good friends. And it was just a good break, from making memes about libertarianism, just something fun. But I would like to take a moment to be serious about the seafood industry and putting a liberty lens on that. So, some questions I would like to ask you is, do you know where your seafood comes from? Are you catching it yourself? Do you get it from the grocery store? Or are you buying like a fillet of fish from McDonald's? Think of all the aspects that you're using seafood and where does it come from? So, some of the items that you may see that has seafood will have like a certification on them, certified sustainable seafood, MSC, like especially on the fillet of fishes from McDonald's. And I'm here to say that that is not actually ethically sourced seafood to get. So it may be reassuring you that it's ethically safe to eat. It makes you feel good that you're getting something ethically sourced, but I'm here to tell you that that is not. And I'm here to talk about the corruption in the seafood industry and how the government getting involved is not helping the situation. So yeah, I thought you guys, I bet you guys thought that I was going to come on here and say Alaska's the best seafood and end with that. But I mean, yes, it is the best seafood. But I'd also like to talk about a real issue here and bring some light to it that some people may not even know about. So, um, most of the fish that you are getting is most likely pollock. So if it says Alaskan cod, that is actually pollock. I they're able to call it Alaskan cod to market it, because it makes it sound better. Um, Additionally, like the fillet of fishes or any other fast food joints that have fish is most likely pollock as well. And also, imitation crab is another one that it comes from pollock. And pollock is caught through trawl fishing. So, what is trawl fishing? It should be noted that a fourth of the global marine fishery landings is trawl fishing. So a fourth of the marine food that we are catching or marine life that we are catching commercially is trawl fishing. And pretty much what it is it's a massive net. This thing is huge and it drags along the bottom of the ocean floor and it catches everything in its way. So, and this is normally pulled by one or two ships. Either one really big one or a couple of smaller ones are dragging this net across the ocean floor. And they are usually catching pollock. There's a couple other fish that they're looking for as well. And they drag that net up and put it onto the deck of the ship. And everything that isn't the fish that they are actually trying to catch is considered bycatch. And so it should be noted that bycatch, all of that is edible. All of it is marketable. And most importantly, everything dies in that net. It's all dead, everything that has been caught in that net. So, according to government regulations, federal regulations, everything that's bycatch has to be tossed over the side. Even though it's edible, it's marketable, and it's already dead. Tossed to the side. Let that sink in for a minute. And another thing that should be added too. So this bycatch does have to be recorded, and on 1/10, so like 10% of the ships that are doing this trawl fishing has a government official that is recording this bycatch. The other 90%, it's the captain who is recording it. And they only have to record what goes onto the ship. So a common practice is if they're pulling up the net and it's not onto the ship yet, but it looks like a majority of it is bycatch, they can cut those lines, cut that net off, not bring it onto the ship, and they don't have to record it. So we do have estimations of how much bycatch there actually is, but there is plenty of ways for it to be actually more than what is being recorded. So, like I said, there's a lot of room for misrecording. Let me go back to, so we know a lot of ships are cutting their nets because if you have you folks heard of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch? It's like this massive island that is going throughout the Pacific and it's just all trash. All of it's trash. It's just floating in the ocean. 46% of the plastic in that patch is fish netting, most likely from trawl fishing. So you know it's a common practice to use in trawl fishing. Looking at my notes here. So going back to that Great Pacific Garbage Patch. So it's about 1.6 million square kilometers. So in American units, that's 2 Texases. So twice the size of Texas. This thing is floating around in the ocean. And almost half of that is fishing nets. So let me look at the comments here really quick before I go into the impact of this trawl fishing. Let's see. Cajun, hey, way to be here, Cajun. We'll have to go live together another time. I was expecting Eskimo versus Cajun Civil War Seafood Edition. This is acceptable though. Oh, thank you, Jacob. Yeah, so we're gonna keep that Civil War to the memes. It's just for fun. But there will be other times that we'll be going live together. So stay tuned for that. Let's see, down here we like to trawl fish, TROLL fish, rivers with small vessels, trolling mode. Yeah, so it is a much smaller operation. So these operations up here in Alaska, it's affecting Alaska, but they are far enough out in the ocean that it's a federal issue. So it's federal regulations and stuff. Let's see. Trawl fishing describes anyone saying Alaskan seafood is better than Cajun seafood in order to start an internet fight. I don't know how that does. So, anyways, going back to the impact. So, first off, there's that environmental impact of greatly contributing to that Great Pacific Garbage Patch. This thing is massive. Like I said, it's twice the size of Texas. And then the size of holes in the net is allowing for smaller fish to get through because they want to get the bigger fish. So, if it's like king salmon or halibut, they get caught in there, but they're looking for that pollock. So the smaller fish get through, and over the years of this happening, it's breeding smaller and smaller fish because only the smaller ones are getting through. And people are noticing. In fact, Whole Foods actually redid their guidelines for what fish they are buying. So it used to be that fish had to be so big for them to actually buy. But because that's becoming more and more scarce, they redid their regulations to allow smaller fish to be bought for their stores. Additionally, I've seen the impact myself in that I look at pictures of my elders and they're holding up that salmon, they got it up here like this, and the fish is literally the length of their body. The fins, the tail is down on the ground. And nowadays, I have not seen a salmon that big. That used to be a common occurrence. And now when you're holding up salmon, you can do it one-handed. So this is over, one generation of impact that this has had. So also Alaskan subsistence fishing. So we're getting a lot smaller salmon too. That's another one that there's far less numbers. And there's plenty of people up here in Alaska that are subsistence fishing that this is affecting. Since we're seeing that on that front, um, the knee-jerk reaction is for Fish and Game to restrict fishing, like personal use fishing, not the commercial fishing. Even though the big problem is coming from commercial fishing, we are really just a drop in the bucket. They are restricting personal use fishing and subsistence fishing. So I want to talk about the libertarian solution. Before that, I'm going to go back to the comments just real quick. It looks like we got a few more people commenting on here. Yes, feel free to comment and ask questions and like and share this video. I was taught when you burn what you are cooking, you call it Cajun. Oof. So I got a lot of seafood comments on here, and those are welcome as well. The topic I am talking about is a little bit more serious than that, but let's see. So, oh, Jimmy says, hey from Ohio. Hey, Jimmy. So now that I've addressed what this problem is and how it's impacting us, it's impacting the environment and the Alaskan people quite heavily. The libertarian solution. So libertarians like to talk about personal responsibility. And so it's time to execute that personal responsibility by stop supporting these companies with your dollar. All right, we have a supply and demand sort of market. Ethically source, truly ethically source. Do your research. What companies are using trawl fishing? All right, you know that now that I've addressed it, pollock is from trawl fishing. So stop buying pollock. Don't buy a fillet of fish. Don't buy imitation crab. All right, it is not ethically sourced. Even though it has that stamp on there, it's not. Right? That's government corruption right there. There's these stories of companies and such buying off that ticket, having that ticket on there saying it's ethically sourced when it truly is not. And there's plenty of information out there showing that it is not. So it takes personal responsibility from yourself to do your research on where you are spending your dollar. If you are supporting this unethical sourcing of seafood. So, and not only do you have to take personal responsibility, also advocate about it, right? Let people know. I mean, not everyone knows about this. This is all happening out in the ocean. So you don't see this every day, especially in the landlocked states. I mean, it's sort of out of sight, out of mind. But now you have this information and you have this responsibility to let people know. Additionally, we have these devices in our hand that has all that information as well. It's at our fingertips. All that information is there. So do your research where your money is going. Also, there's another great group called Stop Alaskan Trawler Bycatch, and I'm going to go ahead and grab that link really quick. Let me just grab the link to the group and put it in the comments section. So this group has been really great about advocating about this issue, and they have a lot of great numbers. I mean, they put it into really great perspective. You can easily share the information here. So I think I saw on there earlier that almost 19,000 king salmon have been killed as bycatch. That is 19,000 king salmon that won't be consumed. They were killed off in the netting and thrown back into the ocean. Additionally, I had also posted a meme which brought a little bit of light to this issue, but they had brought this netting on board and there was at least 2 orcas as bycatch that were caught in their netting and died. And the image is just, it's a punch to the stomach. It's quite disturbing, but it's real and it should be disturbing. And people need to know about this. And that's why I posted it. So, another thing that I'd like to say too is to try and catch your own seafood too. I mean, it's not available for everyone, but for those that it is available for, and I support all Cajuns having Cajun food if they are catching their own seafood. So, anyways, I'm going to go back to the comments, open up for more questions. Let's see, what can I pull from here? Let's see. Oh, the Cajun says the feed is breaking up on his end. Let me know if you guys are having trouble seeing the feed, or if it's just Cajun and his Cajun connection. Brian says your show rocks. Thank you, Brian. Let's see. Oh, so people are saying that my show is having issues. So I'm going to be working on my internet connection so that way I can have a better live stream for this because I would like to continue to do this, having this live show. I really enjoy this. Monterey Bay Aquarium does a great job of educating people about this too. Awesome. Yeah, so the information's out there and people are advocating about it, and it's your job to listen and let other people know. So that's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, Titus, yes, they caught orcas, multiple orcas. You can see at least 2 in the picture. It looks like there was a deckhand that like quickly took a picture. I don't know if they're allowed to do that, but there are pictures and videos that are being posted onto this group that I just put in the comment section. And it's people that are working on the front line saying like, this is what is happening. And it's so disturbing. Like you're watching this and it should be disturbing. And people need to know about it. So, and stance is vote with your wallet. Same way I don't buy products from companies that are good. If you do your research and support some same values, who does things ethically, who pays their employees great, supporting them with your dollar is the best way to do it. Letting other people know and they support them with their dollar, that's what we do. Then you starve out the other companies that are doing things unethically, who aren't paying their employees right, who have the wrong values. Starve them out. That is your personal responsibility as a libertarian. So, yeah, make sure you guys like, comment, share. I hope you guys liked what I had to say about this. I mean, I'm sure you guys were looking for a battle royale between me and Cajun about the real seafood, superior seafood at least. And I'm here to say it's actually Alaskan. There's no contest. uh, his uh, his poll was hacked by the Russians, and there was a surge of votes at 3 a.m. and Cajun's not my seafood. Hashtag not my seafood. No. In Alaska, and I feel like information is not getting out there to the people, and they need to hear about this. They need to know that this is going on. So go ahead and join that group that I had put in the comment section. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the comment section again. Join that group. They have a lot of great information. And yeah, Russians, you know, as the Russians. So yeah, like, comment, share. Make sure you guys add me on Twitter, Instagram, MeWe, and on Clubhouse. If you have Clubhouse, I'm going to be having a show on there coming up. I'm hoping to update my equipment, keep this thing rolling. This has been great addressing you guys about these issues that I'm passionate about. And I'm hoping to keep doing this on a weekly basis. I'm thinking of sticking with Wednesdays. This time is working well for me, but I may move around because I have some other friends that are presenting at this time as well. I know Spike's show is going on at this time, so with his My Fellow Americans. And later tonight, Cajun is actually going to be talking to Larry Sharp. So tune into his show as well tonight. Shout out to him. We do like to support each other. We do tease each other about seafood, but I think seafood's the only thing that we disagree on, at least so far. So let's see. Aaron says, your internet connection is weaker than Alaska's seafood. You realize our seafood does encompass like massive salmon and whale and walrus and seals. Those are some pretty strong animals. And what does the Cajun have? Little crawfish? Crayfish? Crawfish? I don't even know. Little tiny water bugs? Yeah. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Make sure you guys do your research, take some personal responsibility, make good choices, and I will see you guys next week. So, anyways, keep your stick on the ice.